Hello, Ken. Delighted to be chatting with you again. How are you?
I'm very good, Terry. Thank you. Thank you for
Good.
having me back.
I'm delighted, as I say. How's life in Vancouver?
It's great. Spring is here finally. It's
Yeah.
still a little cool for this time of year, but the rains have stopped.
Hmm. I think
And
last time we chatted, it was a bit later on, I think, wasn't it? So the light looks different, on your side. Was it early in the
yeah,
morning?
it's pretty early in the morning here. It's 10 a.m. and I have a window right here facing east,
Yeah.
so sun comes up and pours in.
Oh, nice. So have you had your coffee? You had loads of coffee this morning?
You know what? I'm like the one writer in history who doesn't drink coffee.
No
I,
way.
yeah, I've never learned to like the taste.
Yeah.
I like the smell, but I don't care for coffee. And
Oh.
if now that everyone knows that, I'm going to be thrown out of the union.
It'd be bad, yeah. Is it beer? Do you drink beer instead of coffee?
Not this early in the day, but yes, yes, beer is my drink of choice. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what does the chap behind you? What does he drink? But the bit sort
of the blood of the innocents. I think that is Eric the Head.
Eric
He's
the Head.
Eric the Head.
Where did you get him from?
There is a pub in town called the Stormcrow Pub. It was known as a nerd bar, and they had all kinds of paraphernalia, Star Trek, science fiction, horror stuff.
Yeah.
And COVID just killed them, so they had to close down, and they auctioned off all of their stuff and gave the money to the staff to help out.
Okay.
And so I helped them and I helped me.
Okay.
I got a new friend.
When you say COVID killed them, do you mean COVID killed the business rather than the staff? Yeah, good.
Yeah,
That's
exactly right. Yeah, they just couldn't recover.
Ah.
It's quite a familiar story these days.
Yeah, it's awful. Life now in Vancouver with COVID, is it coming back to normal? Is there people getting out and about again?
Yeah, we're pretty much back to normal. People will still wear masks, in a grocery store or whatever, but mostly we're back to normal. Okay. Thankfully.
Yeah. I think the last time we chatted, it was in the middle of COVID, wasn't it, on both sides, your side and here in the UK.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was still going strong last time we talked. Yeah. So thankfully, it's well, at least for now, it's better.
Yeah, good.
Halfway normal.
Yeah. Ken, before we talk about your writing, can we talk about your hobbies, what you do outside of writing? Is it poker? Can you tell me, do you play in poker tournaments? Or is that...
I've never played in a live tournament. No, I used to do a lot online, but now most of the sites have shut down. So I really don't do poker nearly as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Plus, if you play in a tournament, it takes a long time. Like you have to be very, very patient. You have to sit there for 8 or 10 hours, and I just don't have that kind of patience. My hobbies are writing. That's my love. Painting, as you can see. Communing with nature, getting out in the sun. I don't know. That's about it.
Okay. You're writing full time, Ken? Is that like your main income? You are now a full time professional writer.
Yeah. Finally, I am a full time writer.
Okay. When you say finally, has that been your aim for the past couple of years?
That has been the aim since I was a child.
Oh yeah.
I've always wanted to be a writer. That's all I've ever wanted to do. And I wasn't that good as a kid. So get out, get a job, do all the usual human stuff. And after many, many years of punching a clock, I am finally, the last couple of years, I am finally what I wanted always to be, just a full-time writer.
Okay. So, was it 2017? Was that when your first book was published? Going back 5 years, is it?
I think it was 2016.
Okay, I've got a list of your books that alone it stretches down the whole page. Arcadia Falls, horror story. Was that the first novel, Arcadia Falls?
No, Stage 3 was the first.
Okay.
I think Arcadia was second, and then Stage 3 Alpha, and so on.
I'm about halfway through Stage 3 at the moment. It's absolutely brilliant. Highly recommended anyone who's looking at this.
Thank you very much.
Can I ask the volume, the Stage 3, is it the same characters? Do we have the Mason character and the young girl Mackenzie? Do they repeat throughout the volumes, or are they all standalone? Yeah.
No, they are the stars of the show, so they will be around for, well, let's say for a while.
Okay.
They are the stars in every book. Stage 3 Alpha, I assumed at the end of Stage 3, when a reader wanted to read the next one, they would expect it would be the continuing story of Mason and Mackenzie.
Yeah.
So I switched it up and I made Mackenzie's Aunt Sarah the star of the show.
Okay.
The others come in later.
Yeah.
And the three of them really are the main characters through the series.
Okay. The volume 4, that's only just been released this month, hasn't it? I think May 22.
Yeah. Yep. Brand new.
Okay. What are you working on at the moment? Are you working on the volume 5?
I am, and I always have a few things on the go. So I have I'm working on Stage 3 Delta.
Yeah.
I'm working on another standalone about a man who may or may not be going insane. Yeah. We'll just leave it there. I always have a couple of short stories on the go as well, and I have another book that's finished. I'm just sort of polishing a little bit. That will be coming out later this year. Another standalone.
Okay. You certainly are a full-time writer. Yeah. Can I ask, I don't know the behind you, some of the awards that you've won. Gayer's Game novel, 2022 Book Excellence Award winner, Literary Titan Gold Award winner.
Mm-hmm.
How much of an impact does winning these awards have on your marketplace? Obviously, it's got to be positive.
Well, yeah, it must help. I really don't know what the numbers are, but mostly it helps me mentally. It gives me validation so that I know that, oh, someone else read it and someone else liked it. It doesn't matter if it's the best or you know, their pick of the best. It's just validation that, hey, someone read it. Yeah. Someone actually liked it.
Yeah. Can I ask about Eva Lancaster? She does, I think, I'm right in saying she does the sort of a combination of marketing and management of the books. Does she do the covers and the sort of final edits?
Eva does literally everything.
Yeah.
I write it, I send it to her. She does everything. She does the cover. She builds the book, which always looks better than what I see in bookstores. Yeah. She does the marketing. She constantly tweaking categories and things I would never think about. Yeah. Going onto websites and that allow authors to post their books, and she will do that. And again, I wouldn't even think of that. And yeah, I couldn't do anything without her. I really couldn't. She's fantastic. She's
her brand name, the book Kalishi. I know she does some brilliant animations as well. I know it's on your Amazon page. It's absolutely superb. She sent me a few actually, so I can use on this when I do the edit.
There again, I wouldn't even think to send you that kind of stuff. So, she's remarkable.
Yeah. Did you consider yourself as an indie writer, or even though Eva and the book Kalishi sort of manage your work?
I do consider myself independent. Yeah, my first 2 books were published by Severed Press. Yeah. They did a great job. Yeah. But then I got into the independent scene. Arcadia Falls was an indie put out by Eva years ago. And I loved having that kind of control. I just absolutely loved it. I can change the prices. I can give it away for free, that sort of thing. You can't do that if you're published.
True.
So that made me an ardent indie writer. So I actually bought back the rights to the first 2 books so that I could own them all. I could have the publishing rights for everything. Yeah. So yeah, I am full on indie.
Yeah, I can understand. Now, audiobooks available from your work?
Yeah, everything but Charlie, and we're working on Charlie.
Okay. Who's actually doing the narration for that? Are you having to go yourself? Have you got the kit to be able to do that?
I tried my hand at a short story, and it's out. People can listen to it, and laugh at it. I think that might be my last attempt. No, we have actual professional voiceover people.
Okay.
Blindness is just the beginning. Once the virus strips away everything remotely human, all that's left is a mindless, savage predator. From multi-award-winning horror writer Ken Stark comes a pulse-pounding, post-apocalyptic zombie novel that will keep you pumped up until the very last page. For fans of World War Z, The Last of Us, and The Walking Dead. Mason never cared much for his fellow man, but now he is all that stands between a blind little girl and a world gone mad. Even as they fight their way from one horror to the next, through streets running red with blood, they both know that time is running out. Stage 3 is coming, and things are about to get a whole lot worse.
Evan Kelly.
Evan
Awesome.
Kelly. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Matthew Crow did Alpha.
Yeah.
John Andrews did Bravo. We just released Arcadia Falls on audiobook. That was Brian T. Schultz. He was pretty damn awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and again,
what was the short story, Ken, that you had to go at?
it was called Who's Going to Feed Johnny?
Oh, sounds like an ominous title.
Yeah, let's just say there's something upstairs. There's a family secret.
Oh dear. Whoa dear. You know, in the audiobooks, is it just somebody actually reading the book out loud, or do they have like sound effects and things in the background, or the noises, music?
No sound effects, just somebody reading, but they have to be actually really good to do all the voices.
Yeah,
and all the character voices. That's something I could never do.
Yeah.
So that's why I picked that short story, because it's like told from one viewpoint. There's no voices involved.
Yeah. I had to go with my own book, but well, for one, you need a very expensive top of the range audio kit.
Yeah.
Two, you do need to be a professional. You need to have that voice range and the strength in your voice as well to be able to read, for hours at a time.
Yeah.
No way I could do that.
And you have to build yourself a little quiet space too.
Yeah.
It seems so simple, but find a place in your house where you could actually record with no sound.
Yeah.
The world went blind, then it went mad, but the virus has one more trick up its sleeve. From the author of the post-apocalyptic zombie horror novels, Stage 3 and Stage 3 Alpha, Stage 3 Bravo is a multi-award-winning, fast-paced, nail-biting thriller for fans of The Walking Dead, The Last of Us, and World War Z. Mason had nothing left to lose, but then came Mackenzie, and then came Sarah, and then came the others. Though these 7 souls had somehow survived the first days of the epidemic, every minute of life in this new world came at a price. Thrown into a relentless battle against a population turned feral on one side, and desperate men willing to do anything to stay alive on the other. The only question remaining was, how much were they willing to pay to survive? Now those precious few are in a desperate race to save one more lost soul, and time is running out. The clock started ticking the moment they pulled into that forgotten little corner of a world gone insane. Every second brings them closer to death. They'll have to find a way out, or die trying.
Yeah, difficult. Have you ever tried a voice-activated writing? You speaking into a microphone and the words are sort of typed out for you. Have you ever tried that?
I have tried that, yeah. It's not bad, but I prefer typing because for some reason my fingers move at the same speed as my brain. So it's like a perfect match.
Yeah.
If I try to talk, I know Rod Serling used to write like that. He used to just pace around his office with a microphone and just read out a whole story, fresh from his mind. I don't think I could do that. I have to be in control of the word.
I couldn't do it.
No, he was remarkable.
Do you go straight to the keyboard, or do you have a notebook for your writing routine?
I always have a notebook.
Yeah.
but when I outline a story, I outline it very rough. I know going into it, the beginning, the major plot points along the way. I know sort of how I want it to end, but I let myself get there organically. You know, I give myself freedom.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if I have to write down everything, you know, every chapter, every character, blah blah, it becomes so much like work. And the last thing I want is for writing to seem like work.
You need that enjoyment of it. That
I need to be able to create. I need to let the story go where it's going to go, and some wonderful things happen when you do that.
Do you allow your characters to come alive sort of organically, so they move in a different direction?
Yep. The best point, the best parts of writing are when the characters come alive. When you want your character to say something or do something, and they go, no, not going to happen. That's wonderful. That's when I know I've done it right.
Yeah.
You know, when the character actually speaks for themselves, it's magic.
I think we mentioned this last time we chatted, but if you say that to anybody who's not a writer, you get a funny look, don't you? So you're going to be insane, but schizophrenic.
I've learned what not to say around non-writers. I'm watching you. I'm paying attention to every mannerism.
You know, your genre of writing, it's in the mainstream, it's 99% horror. Well, why horror? Is that what you read? Is that what you enjoy? Do you watch horror films, read horror fiction?
I don't actually watch a lot of horror movies. I do read a lot of horror. I think it's just because we are all a product of nature and nurture, right? As a kid, I read a lot of scary stories. They were the ones that stuck with me. So I tended that way. Loved Twilight Zone. Loved every monster movie, you know, in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
It's what I was drawn to. So what am I going to do, right? Romantic comedy, you know?
Yeah.
It's what I enjoy, and apparently it's what I'm good at. So,
well, the awards speak for themselves, don't they? You do something right, certainly.
Can't complain.
Yeah. Can I ask you about the impact of COVID worldwide? Has that had an effect on your work, on your novels, with the horror stories? In effect, the sort of the cannibal zombies, in a way, they're suffering from a plague. Has that impacted at all, or has that no effect?
It doesn't impact the way I continue this series now, but when it first hit, I immediately thought, oh, that's how my book started. We had a shutdown, we had a virus. So I keep waiting for the zombies. They're not coming, I don't think.
Okay.
But during COVID was just very, very bizarre. We all know it. You go outside and there's no traffic and there's no one on the streets. Like that is a truly eerie thing.
Yeah.
So it's like I can write about it, but now, hey, I can actually see it, like an abandoned city. Like
was that a bit surreal? Was that?
It was very surreal. Very surreal.
Yeah. Have you found that it's changed your life in many ways? For me, things that happened over the past 2 years, I'm sort of losing track of time, as though like normally you've got winter, summer, spring, but if someone mentions what did you do last year, I can't remember it was 1 year ago or 2 years ago. I'm sort of find it difficult to place things.
Well, welcome to my world. That's pretty much my life. I think it dilated time for sure, but it actually didn't really affect me personally much because my life is staying home and writing.
Yeah.
So it's not like I was, unable to go to work or whatever. So I guess you could even say it helped me, just the world has gone quiet.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit home and write.
Yeah.
So it didn't affect me that way.
I think we're both in agreement really about, how it's changed the life. But I found how sort of easily my sort of, what's the word for it? I can't think of the word. But like I'd be watching a film during lockdown in the UK and I'd be thinking to myself, wow, there's too many people in that lift. Those people are too close together.
Yeah.
And it's funny how your perceptions change.
Yeah, that really is true. I remember that moment when it was like a show that was filmed like a year ago. Like, put your mask on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Truly bizarre.
I think even now, like earlier on, I was out getting the meal, and I'm still keeping a distance between people. I think I may, always have that.
Yeah. And you know what? Since I've been doing that, I haven't had so much as a sniffle. So something seems to work.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Yeah. Touch wood. What advice you'd give to an aspiring writer?
First of all, never call yourself an aspiring writer. If you're writing, you're a writer.
Yeah.
So own it, accept it, fake it till you make it if you have to. Write your story, write it your way. You can listen to others, but listen to them all and then cherry pick what advice you want to take, and just do it your way. You could have 100 writers write the same story, but you'll get 100 different versions of it.
True. Yeah.
Maybe the world is waiting for your version.
Yeah. Just going back to the question before about why you're writing horror. Did you start off with that genre? Did you have a go at writing romantic comedy? Or it was always the horror that came naturally?
When I was a kid, I really liked Twilight Zone a lot. So that's kind of what I wanted to do. So create a bizarre world. It turned out to be more science fiction-y than anything.
Yeah.
Rarely finished, never good. I do still want to try science fiction again, but something tells me it would always turn into something scary.
Yeah. What's I think since we last chatted, have you had any approaches regarding a television or a movie deal about your work? No,
not yet. I'm still learning how to screenwrite. Thought maybe that would help.
Oh yeah.
I'm not, too excited about movie deals or whatever. Like I say, I don't even care if I make a penny off this. I just want people to read it and like it. That's my lifelong ambition. So I'm there. Everything else is gravy.
Is that linked with your Twitter name, Penniless Scribe? Is that with that philosophy?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Can I ask that? This is going to sound like a loaded question, but I'm going back to the last time we chatted, and there was a brilliant comment that you said near the end. I only kill people in my books. I think it was the exact words you said. I only murder people in my words.
I think I said I only kill people literally.
That was sorry. Yep, you're right. Yep. Would you recommend? This sounds like a stupid question now that I'm reading it. Would you recommend for a would-be serial killer for him to go away and do a writing course so they could sublimate that desire to something healthy?
That is a book in itself, right there. That's a perfect plot.
Yeah.
I have a story out called Killing Joe Prince, where the guy does exactly that. He needs to murder his sort of literary hero.
Yeah.
So he writes out the entire crime. He's a writer, so he plots it out. He does the best outline he's ever done.
Yeah.
And he follows that in his attempt to kill Joe Prince.
Wow.
A not so veiled reference to the King of Horror, Stephen King.
Okay. Are you a fan of Stephen King? I take it. Well, I think who isn't? Maybe better rephrasing.
He changed the game. Honestly, I haven't read much of his recent stuff in recent years, but from Salem's Lot on, I was a huge Stephen King fan, and he changed the genre because I was used to going to a castle in Bulgaria or some spooky woods or whatever.
Yeah.
He showed that you can just have a family sitting at home and boom, this thing happens and deal with it. So he brought it into the real world.
Yeah.
Or for me at least.
Yeah. To a normal sort of everyday man and woman living in a normal street.
Yeah. And so that's actually how my books go. Someone's just living their life and this thing happens and hey, deal with it.
Yeah. And the first of the stage 3 books that I'm reading at the moment, is it the way I'm reading it, or is there like an element of sort of dark humor in there? There's like a lightness in the first few chapters. I'm thinking, this is, the situation here, the world's changed, there's a plague, there's zombies going around eating each other, but there's a lightheartedness in there, an element of comedy, not comedy, but just below.
Yes, that I really enjoy that. I really enjoy throwing in a little bit of humor here and there. And you'll find in my later books, there's actually more and more humor.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not trying to make them funny, but
Yeah.
kind of like the movies I used to love as a kid. There's, you know, the big scare, and then
Yeah.
there's the comedy relief. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
just lighten the mood and take a break from the horror, and then, oh, you're back in the horror. So
Yeah.
I don't know, it works and it's fun. And
I
I'm
think
not gonna
it,
change.
it helped. It's a page turn. I think it feels very comfortable reading it. So, you know, 1 minute you're getting shocked, and the next minute you say, oh, no, that's okay now. A bit of relief, and then move on.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Can I ask you about your writing routine, Ken? Have you got a set time? Do you wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning? Right, that's it. I'm writing 1,000 words, or is that as it comes with you?
No, since I'm full-time writer, I will write whenever I can, and
Yeah.
for however long I can. So no routine. You know, I'll have to take care of some errands. That's fine. You know, if that eats up the morning.
Yeah.
But then I will sit down, and it's not like I have to force myself to write 1,000 words. I just sit and write. That's why I usually have a few things on the go at the same time.
Yeah.
Because depending on my mood, maybe I don't feel like zombies today, so I'll do another thing, or maybe I had a cool dream and I want to write a short story about it. So no routine. It's the joy of freedom, I guess. I can write when I want and however long I want. So yay me.
You never suffer.
Fortunately, I always want to write, so it's I don't have to force myself.
No, yeah, stand back and admire your enthusiasm. You never get this thing called writer's block. Does that never affected you?
No, I think. Well, I shouldn't speak for everyone, but I think of writer's block as, well, I've gotten this far in the book. Now I really don't know where I'm going to go with it, or I've written myself into a corner. So if that happens, I will just go back to the chapter where things went wrong, where things sort of went off the rail and got me stuck in this corner, and just start over from there and take it in a different direction.
Okay.
So no, I never really have to deal with writer's block.
Does it help as well that you've got a couple of different sort of projects on the go at the same time as well?
Absolutely. I was going to mention that too. Yeah, it really helps to have a few things on the go. So if I do get stuck, or if I were to get stuck on one, just abandon it for now, put it away, leave it for a week or two, come at it with fresh eyes, and move on to something else.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, maybe one final question. The time's caught up. It's flown by. It really has.
Really has.
I know you mentioned that you sort of leave it to Eva, for the marketing side of things. But you find that any kind of what is the best social media for you, or you're not that much? I know you got a massive following on Twitter, but do you use Facebook, TikTok, Instagram?
I had an Instagram account. For some reason, it got self-deleted. I tried to open it again. I built it up again. It got deleted again. So I gave up on Instagram. I wouldn't know how to use TikTok. Maybe I'll look into it one day. I do like Twitter.
Yep.
I'll spend some time on Twitter. I will go on Facebook once in a while. I don't much care for Facebook. So I leave everything but Twitter to Eva.
Okay. Yeah. I know Eva. She redesigned my hardback book cover for me. I tried to do it myself, and then I just looked at Eva, said, "Terry, just don't bother. Give it to me."
Yeah.
Sorted in 5 minutes, I think.
It's the right decision. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, okay. Well, good, Ken. It's absolutely been a delight chatting with you again. I really appreciate your time.
Well, my pleasure, Terry. Thank you for having me back, and hopefully you'll have me back again.
Yeah, that's such a good. Definitely. Yeah. Maybe book it now for 6 months from now.
There you go. That'll be about the time my next book comes out.
Brilliant. Yeah, that gives it something to aim for. Well, I'd like to say thank you very much, and cheers.
Cheers back, Terry. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Take care.